Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Jessica. Let's start marching. March, grab yourself some water, grab yourself some weights, grab yourself a band if you want for today's Tabata HIIT circuit. Yay! Hey, we're repeating the class that I definitely taught last week and somehow did not seem to make it onto the internet, but it was a real winner. So I'm bringing it back because I guess you didn't get to see it. You can keep your heart rate down by marching in just one place right now, or you can start to get your heart rate up a little bit more by actively moving forwards and backwards. Give yourself a couple shoulder rolls and whatnot, because we're going to be using those shoulders and chest and back. If you've been rolling in one direction, go ahead and start rolling in the opposite direction. Take a couple more breaths, a couple more shoulder rolls, however your body needs. Make your way back to your space on the mat. And then let's get into some jumping jacks. Whether you're actually jumping your jumping jacks or simply bringing your arms up overhead. Just make sure you're getting that full range of motion all the way up, all the way down, and make sure you're still breathing. Cool. So however you're stepping or jacking it out. Low belly gently pulled in. Shoulders away from your ears, even as arms go up overhead. Let's keep this up for just 10 more seconds. And then we'll go over some big knee drives. We've got a lot of knee drives in the workout. So this time, arms pulling down forward. Find that knee drive. You can keep your hands low. If that heart rate's coming up too high and you don't want that, or arms can come back up high. A couple more times. Let's get 8 more on each side. I like that. Big breath each time your leg comes up, activating your abs. I think down to our last 2 on each side. You know you can't truly trust me to count. Some big kicks forward, 3 steps back. Keep your chest lifted here. Toes flexed to your face. However high that leg is lifting, there can be a slight bend in your leg, but can you find a little drive through your heel? That's what's really happening. I'm driving my heel forward to create a stretch in the hamstrings. 2 more times each side. One big kick, 3 steps. Last one. Awesome. Plant your feet. Shake it out just a little bit. Feet firmly planted. Bend your knees. Inhale your arms all the way up overhead. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Nice and wide. Palms down towards the floor. 2 more times. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms come down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Little crunching, cracking. And last time, inhale. Arms up. As your arms come down, find any stretch that feels good for you. Maybe a little controlled, slow twist. Grab a quick sip of water if you want it. Grab your weights. Option to use your band. We're working in true Tabata timing today. I don't want to use my band, but I'm going to show you that while we're going to have one arm just holding in a side lat raise and one arm just pressed up overhead, you can use that band to create a little bit more tension as you find an alternating marching knee drive. I can only find my heavy band. My hips are tired, so I'm not going to do that. But you can. It's your workout. All right, find some weights that you can hold on to. We're literally just going to keep our arms up overhead while taking some big marches. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So while you're holding these weights, make sure that your chest is lifted, low belly is drawn in, upper back is really engaged. So I'm not like running here. I'm simply marching, and I can tell you straight up that I'm not going to be able to endure these weights for the whole time. Carefully come down. Carefully come down. I'm going to switch to the other side. Yeah, let's do it. You ready? So I have my extended arm, palm facing down towards the floor, and my arm that's up high, that palm is facing towards my extended arm. And you can march in whichever endurance way you want. I like to bring that heel in line with my knee as it comes forward. Ooh, bring it down carefully. A little bit more engagement in the abs when your knee comes up forward as opposed to when your leg just comes up and you're like a flamingo. Original side. So chest takes that little pop. Make sure you take a tuck of your pelvis, belt buckle towards your nose, belly is engaged, upper back is engaged. Remember, if your weights are too heavy, maybe you do this with no weights in your hands. Still a great challenge. Ooh, carefully come down. Get ready for the other side in 3, 2, 1. So find that big lift and extension in your chest. Starting to get tired, so I'm noticing I'm having trouble finding that extra little pop at the top. And I'm going to lower the weights or put them down. Or focus on taking less moves with your legs so you can keep this activation with your arms. We're halfway through. Good times. Okay, shoulders down away from your ears. Find that lift of your arms, your big front raise and your side lat raise, and we're just holding. Now I also have my palm facing forward. It's up to you. I like to find the front raise if you're just raising it up, if your weight allows you to find that big front raise with the palm facing down. So that way both palms are facing down. You just rotate to the side and palms are going to face all down the whole way up. Okay, here we go. To the other side, find that pop of your chest, find that tuck of your pelvis, and that march side to side. Don't lose that engagement in your upper back, in your belly, being engaged. Engagement. Oh my goodness. Keep saying the word as if that's going to help. Relax everything down. By that, I really mean like drawing it in, not sucking your stomach in so that you can't really breathe, but pulling everything in and up so it feels supported. Like what would you do if someone came at you right now and they were going to punch you in the stomach? The way that you would draw in from the center line. So the center line's pulling in, shoulders are pulling down and back. Ooh, we got one more time each side. If you were doing this with the band, good for you. That really adds that extra challenge. Last time, shoulders down and back, contract. There we go. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Back engaged, chest lifted, marching one leg and then the other. Yay. Lower it all down. Grab a quick sip of water. We're moving on to our next exercise, squat pulses. Option for your squat pulses to hold a heavier weight. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and then we have so many options for squat pulses because we've got 8 of them. We can do a narrow squat pulse or we can go for a wide squat pulse. I'm going to do a little bit of both. I'm going to start with those narrow squat pulses and keep this weight at my chest, goblet style, just to make sure I don't overly hinge. Let's start in 3, 2, 1. Great. So for our squat pulse, we're down in the squat. We lift up, but not all the way. Still pressing through your heels, still stretching your glutes back, and then lower back down. You can keep it really nice and slow. You can make it a little bit faster. We don't want to go too fast, because if you're going too fast, then you're kind of just relying on the speed as opposed to really working to stretch your glutes back and think about your form. Same thing. Same thing happening again. Same move. So finding that big stretch back. So you can see that I'm not bringing weight forward into my toes, sending the hips back. So knees are stacked a little bit more on top of toes. Inner thighs are kind of squeezing in towards each other. Shoulders away from your ears. Intentional lowering and lifting. Great. You need to lift all the way up at the very end or if you need a break. We got 2 more in that same style. Ready? Weight in your heels. Shift your hips back and down. Keep your lower belly drawn in also. There's a lot of things to think about. Shoulders away from ears. Low belly drawn in. Weight in your heels, hips back. The more you really stretch those hips back, the more you're already going to feel that stretch in your glutes and your quads. Ready for your break? Great, there it is. One more time. One more time, same move. And then we'll switch it up for the second half. Hips back, heels, have the weight, feet are in line, heels invisible behind your toes here. Keep that belly pulled in, eyes focused, a little diagonally forward so there's no wrinkles in your neck or extra jutting of your chin. Woo, okay, oh yeah, we're not done now. Holding your feet nice and wide. If you want to switch it up, this time instead of hips back, hips really tucked under, lower yourself down, and we're just pulsing from right here. So we still have the weight in the heels the whole time. You're, woo, those glutes, those hips are tucked under. You're really thinking of belly button towards your nose. Yay! Press all the way up. Shake it out for just a second. And come back down. So my toes are pointed wide, yours too. Knees are pointed wide, just like your toes. Tuck your hips under, lower yourself down. If you can't stay here the whole time, that's fine. Maybe give yourself 1 or 2 pulses and then come back down. Really work on the tucking under of your hips instead of the back. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more, maybe next round we'll come up on just 1 foot. Okay. So, yep. So make sure you see hips are not going back. Hips are forward before you go down, shoulders away from your ears. You come on down and hips are still forward. If you're joining me in that challenge of pressing up onto the ball of 1 foot, woo, but still finding that little pulse, just making it faster. You're welcome, your chest is lifted. Oh, stand on up. If you got that one heel lifted, last time, let's get the opposite heel lifted this time. Shoulders down and back, pelvis tucked, sliding down an imaginary wall behind you. Intentional little lift and lower. And you think too about externally rotating your thighs here, not internally, so the glutes go back. A little external rotation. Oh, we did it. Awesome. Shake it out. You can heel toe your feet in a little closer. You can put this super heavy weight down. Grab a quick sip of water. We're going to use 1 weight. One weight. I'm going to start a little light. Let's see what happens. I want to be smart for my body today. We're going for a standing knee drive wood chop. What? Okay. What? I know, that's what you said. Okay, so up at the top, you can take a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a twist to the left, and then chop down towards the right, and then stand again, little twist to the left. You can keep it nice and easy, just finding your little chop. Side to side, a little rotation, control from the center line. You can make it a little bit harder by adding a little bit more of a step back. If you step back, bring more weight into this front leg heel, so you're starting to get a lunge. Maybe you really add in a lunge. Maybe you don't. Let's get started, okay? In 3, 2, 1. So remember, your easiest option is just this little twist, knee drive, quietly trying to bring your foot back down towards the floor. A little bit harder is instead of bringing that foot back down towards the floor, you step back into a lunge. Or maybe you just gently step back and you practice bringing the weight, take a break, into your front leg heel instead of a lot of pressure in the ball of the foot like you're normally standing. Okay, round 2, same direction. Okay, so either just that knee drive or adding in that knee drive, little step back, weight in the heel, drive forward, or you're adding in a big bend of that back knee down towards the floor. Just a little bit more work. Take a break. 2 more times on this side. 3, 2, 1. Still finding a big twist. And then controlled. Your foot is coming down quietly, whichever of these options you're choosing, or as quietly as it can be. We just don't want to slam back into the floor. Whew. Take a break, because we want to be moving with control, really engaging the muscles. Okay, last time to this side. 3, 2, 1. Draw your core in. Exhale, find your knee drive. Inhale, arms go up. As you step back, maybe take your lunge. So just chopping that wood. We're using the front heel to pull ourselves back forward. Even if you're going for that lunge, that front heel is what pulls you up. Shake it out. You ready for the other side? Feel free to start small. It's a whole new side. Belly pulled in. Look in the opposite direction. Exhale, find your knee drive. Maybe that foot just taps towards the floor. And then that big reach and rotation. Stretch your knuckles up towards the ceiling as you rotate your chest. If you're ready for a little bit more, step your foot back. Start to bring weight into your opposite foot heel to draw yourself forward. Take a break. Only 3 more times. Then we come down to the mat. 2, 1. Here we go. So it's a whole new side. Maybe one side is really easy for you to take those big lunges or to take a big step. You're doing what's right for you. If you want to try and add in that deeper lunge, you're still using your front foot heel to pull yourself forward, not rocketing off your back foot. Take a break. Last 2 times, less than a minute to go. Big exhale for that knee drive. So pressing through your heel as you lift up. You don't have to lock the knee. You don't even need to lock the knee. You just want to make your muscles like wrap around and give your bones a hug. Take a break. And in that exhale and the twist, can you feel, that belly pull in just like that punch we talked about earlier? Here we go. Last time. Oopsie noodles. Quiet foot moving into your step, maybe into your lunge. Front heel pulling you forward. For 3, 2, 1. Huzzah! Okay. Bring a weight down to the floor. Grab a quick sip of water if you want. Let's face the bird. Next up, we've got some Russian twists. Yay! You know what? Before we do our Russian twist, let's come into tabletop for just a second. Give yourself some cat-cows. Maybe you shake your hips a little side to side, because we did just get into those obliques with your wood choppers. Maybe you stick with the traditional rounding and flexing of your spine. Woo! Oh, goodness, that feels very, very good. Such a great idea to take a stretch. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can bring your hips down towards the floor and extend your legs forward. Let's keep our legs extended forward, shall we? Or if you need to, if your hamstrings are really tight, you can bring a slight micro bend to your knees here, but I want you to keep your chest really lifted. So we're not rounding the back, chest is forward, we're finding a stack and shoulders are still rolled down the back. You don't have to have a weight in your hands as we're going to find this gentle twist side to side. And if you'd like to have a weight in your hands, then you're welcome to have a weight in your hands to make it a little bit more intense. We just want to make sure that we're not rounding chest forward. Belly gets to come forward. Huzzah! All right, in 3, 2, 1. Bam. So lower belly is pulled in, chest is really lifted and open. You're finding as much intentional rotation side to side with lots of length through your spine, through the crown of your head. Chin is neutral to your chest right here. Oh, sorry, I started to lean back. All right, still staying lifted, still staying lifted. So one more time, staying lifted. 3, 2, 1. And your legs are either straight or your legs have that slight bend. Your low belly is deeply pulled in and your shoulders are drawn down and back. So not rounding forward, trying to counteract that rounding forward like there's a string pulling your chest up. I think, take a break. I think last week in the video, no one saw, I talked about like, you're wearing a bling necklace, you know, like check out my amazing necklace, and you just want everyone to see. Starting again, showing off that necklace. If you're ready for a little bit more, you can bend your knees and perhaps take a little bit of a lean back. But if you lean back and you round forward, then take that lean back out of the equation, or maybe you take the weight out of the equation and you still challenge yourself with that lean back. Take a break. Hello, Fred. So same thing one more time, perhaps adding that little bit of a lean, still really pulling your core in, maybe with or without weights, to keep your chest lifted and shoulder blades squeezing in towards each other. And you're breathing. Make sure you're still doing something that you can breathe through. And if you can't, come back to where you can still find your breath. Okay, take a break. Are you ready for more? Great. We're going to work to lift one leg at a time. So you're going to lift that right leg up into boat pose, shin parallel towards the floor. And you can assess where you need to have your spine so your chest is still up. So I just got one foot lifted up off of the floor. If you start to get tired or you notice some rounding, you can bring it down. Maybe you bring it up and down a little bit because it's not all or nothing. Take a break. It's what can you do today? And what we're going to do today is now move on to the other leg. So driving a little bit of the heel in towards the floor helps to also engage the core and find this little shuffle side to side. Chest is still lifted, and you can do as much or as little as you need to. So if you need to put that foot back down to keep your chest lifted and to keep breathing, that's your number one, or it can find a little up and down. But if that's easy for you, take a break. Then we're going to try and lift both legs into boat pose. Both legs. So squeezing your inner thighs in towards each other, lifting your knees up, keeping your chest lifted, still finding this twist side to side. Chest lifted, chin neutral to your chest, so chin's not jutting up towards the ceiling or towards your chest. And if you're having some trouble, just bring your feet back down. And then your chest is going to lift a little bit because, you know, when you brought your legs up, it just changed the angle that you're sitting. Take a break. We got one more time. Ooh, one more time to do any of those options. As much or as little as you want or need. Let's keep going. Last one. We do have one more move after this move. It is still a core move. You get to lay your probably tired back down on the floor. Won't that be wonderful? For 3, 2, 1. Yay. Okay. Great. Laying your tired back down on the floor. Once you get there, draw your knees up to your chest. Give yourself a couple circles right here in one direction, massaging your low back. Give yourself a couple circles in the opposite direction. Pull your knees in towards your chest, shoulders away from your ears, elbows towards your hips. Give yourself a double, triple chin here, trying to get as much of the back of your head, back of your neck on the mat. Maybe even gently rock side to side now, just trying to get a little bit more of a massage to the sides of the low back, and then find your stillness for a second. Exhale, release the soles of the feet down towards the floor. Okay, next up we're going to go for a bicycle crunch. Did I just say bicycle crunch? It looks like I did. This is surprising with me. Okay, let's do that bicycle crunch. So, But we're going to do the bicycle crunch one side at a time. That sounds a little bit better. If you want to challenge yourself to doing both sides together, you go for it. You know, I'll make time for it at the end. How's that sound? 3 rounds of one side at a time. You can keep your legs straight and just find that little elbow to knee crunch. You can make this easier by also pressing your hand into the floor as you drive that knee up. If you're really having trouble with that straight leg, bend your knee, press your heel into the floor, not even just the sole of the foot, the heel, a little pressure activating the hamstring to also help you get into your abs. Just find your kick, maybe knee stays bent, or your kick a little bit more challenging, leg straightens out. Other optional challenge, arm hovers over the floor, maybe while keeping your head in line with the spine. You don't even bring your shoulders back down to the mat for these 20 seconds. We're staying with the same side for 3 rounds in 3, 2, here we go. So your exhale is what's driving that leg up, either keeping your knee bent and just tapping that 90-degree bending your knee towards the floor, or you can have that left leg straight and hover, or you can hover everything. Isn't that a delightful challenge? Make it work for you. Have some fun. When I hovered everything, I forgot to kick my leg out, but it is what it is. We got the same side again. Let's see what happens. That hovering everything, though, I tell you. Hello. You know, I'm going to be honest also, my bicycle got stolen, I think around February, shortly after the dog passed away. Well, yes, I do teach a spin class. Is that an excuse for how I seem to have forgotten how to ride a bike here? Because I clearly did. All right, one more time, just this side, and then we're going to activate just the other side. We got 20. Whoa, that is a vibe. 20 seconds of work at a time. You want to keep your low back down on the floor. So if you want to have feet in like a half boat pose, that feels a lot better and more attainable for a different, bicycle challenge. All right, other side. So maybe you start with that foot bent on the floor, pressing into your heel, that little hamstring activation. You can have your hand down on the floor, your hand can hover. You can try that super challenge, both legs extended, for that boat pose. Ooh. Ooh. Yes, take that break. So you're just driving one elbow to the knee. And I got real thirsty down here. Got real thirsty. Same side. This is our last move of the day. Low back is still pressed down to the floor. We'll take a break. I think Fred would like to eat my toes each time I extend my legs. I got one more time just like that. Last time like this. It's like this, or it's like that. It's like this. Oh, hi Fred. Ooh, are you still using your exhale? I hope so. Even if you're going slow, you're still going, right? Okay, awesome. Because next we got our last 2 rounds. Last 40 seconds of actual work, and we're going to alternate that crunch. You ready? So a little left elbow to right knee, right elbow to left knee. Now you can go real slow. You can hold it for that full length of your exhale and get in a couple less reps, but do some real good work, especially if your low back is on the floor and your shoulders are off the floor. You can point that toe as high as you need. Take a break and go. Woo! One more round. Last round. Here we go. Woo! For 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Release your head down to the floor. Draw your knees back towards your chest. Puff your chest up, open your chest, squeeze shoulder blades together. Try and touch the edges of your shoulders to the mat. Legs can separate here. As much of the back of your head, back of your neck. The intentional double, triple chin. And then exhale, release the soles of the feet down to the floor. Open your arms nice and wide. Knees drop over to the right for a spine twist. Head can turn, look to the left for a nice stretch of your neck. Did your shoulders creep back up towards your chin and chest? If so, engage your back, pull it down towards your hips, stretch the crown of your head to the wall behind you or above you or, in the opposite direction of your feet. Slow your breath down. Exhale longer than inhale. One more here. And then roll onto your back. You can press into your feet to shift your hips to the other side and then knees drop. Once your legs are settled, feel free to turn, twist your head in the opposite direction of your legs. And then still drawing shoulders away from your ears, drawing your low back down towards your hips, slowing your breath down. From here, let's close our arms like a book. So head comes back in line with the heart, 2 arms somewhat stacked on top of each other, 2 hips stacked on top of each other. Roll over into tabletop. Once again, one more opportunity for a little bit of cat-cow action, just shaking it out. Maybe a little press through your shoulders, a little scapular push-up. Sinking your chest and then lifting your chest. All right, and then let's go ahead, tuck your toes under, send your hips up towards the ceiling. You can pedal through your heels, shake your head yes, shake your head no as you walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Once you get there, generously bend your knees, shift the weight to your heels, and then slowly roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time, stacking your head over your heart, over your hips, over your heels, shoulders roll down and back. Oopsie doodles, I kept you for an extra minute. Inhale your arms up overhead. Relax your shoulders. Exhale, relax your arms. Yay! Great work today. So proud of you for coming. I hope you feel so proud of yourself for coming. That was fun, and I'm glad I actually got to share it with you. And I'll see you a little bit later in the week, and we can stretch everything out. Until then.